Hey, family, you heard the music. You know what time it is. It's time for the Love Always Wins podcast. And as always, I'm joined by my future wife.
Woo! Greetings, beautiful people. Hello and welcome. I am Katrina Montez. I am the author of Masters of Resilience, Real Stories of Inspiration for Purposeful Living. Welcome to the Love Always Wins podcast. Woo!
That was very cheerful.
I know. I try. I try, considering the topic. But before we get into it, let's remind the viewers that we are affiliates of Black Girl Vitamins. So for all your wellness needs, please check out blackgirlvitamins.com and use our code LAW, LAW, for your 20% discount. Also, go to moreencouragement.com to check out our Love Always Wins apparel. We have t-shirts, hoodies, and hats.
Yes.
So we're excited about all of our
And we
apparel.
are affiliates with
Alert One.
Alert One.
Alert One.
For
yes.
those who find themselves in need of alert system, just in case you fall or anything like that. When you go to Alert One, give them my name.
Yes.
Jacob Dowdell Jr. and you will get a discount.
Get a discount. I know they get a free month. I'm not sure what else, but they definitely get a free month. So yeah.
Yeah, free month. That's just the same as a discount.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then get your Master of Resilience copy. Get this.
Hey, but let me say something. That book is a powerful thing.
The book is deep. The book is deep. The book is deep. Which brings us to today's topic. So we're closing out the month of September. The month of September is National Suicide Prevention Month. And yes, this is the end of the month. We're closing it out. And to be honest, I was very hesitant about this topic. I say, you know what? I've done the work. I've got the certification. I'm certified in suicide prevention and awareness in the Army. Wrote the book, got the t-shirt, literally all that. And it is a topic that can be very triggering. It can bring about anxiety. It can be heavy and deep, but it's much needed. It's much needed. So, yes, we are talking about suicide prevention and awareness, and our topic today is never give up.
Ever.
Never give up. So what we want to do is just give you a message and leave some thought-provoking things with you or someone who may be going through some things in life. Always check in on your strong people, not just the people who you know are having a tough time right now, but those people who you may be like, oh, they good, they strong, they got it. Not so much so. So
everybody can use somebody to check in on them to see how they're doing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the thing about it is, people, life be lifing. That's what we say now. Life be lifing. It's always something that comes up. But as I talk about in the book, there is nothing new under the sun. So whatever you may be going through or someone else may be going through, someone has already gone through it and conquered it.
Yeah.
So the first thing we want to do is for you or anyone who may be having these thoughts of quitting, we want you to do several things. The first thing we want you to do is think about how that action may impact the people who love you.
The ripple effect.
There is a ripple effect. And of course, we always have a story, especially Mr. Love Always Wins. So, and then I have several stories, but I want to let you go ahead and talk about the experience or one of the many experiences you had.
About my neighbor?
Yeah, we can talk about your neighbor first.
Yeah, when I was living on Guam, I had a neighbor. He's a full bird colonel. I would always, when I was on my way to work, wave at him when he was outside with his cup of coffee. And he was a football fan, so I talked smack to him. And this one particular day, he was outside like normal, and I just threw up my hand at him, and I said, "I'll get you when I come back."
Mm-hmm. Meaning that you were just
I talked smack
stop
to him.
and talk. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So on my way home from work, I turn the corner and I see all these police cars out there, and I see all the tape around his house and everything.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what in the world is going on here? And I proceed up, and they come down the street and tell me, hey, I can't go in there further. And everybody knew that we were friends.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they like, Coach, Colonel such and such killed himself this morning. Mm-hmm. And I was like, no.
I just saw him.
Yeah.
Wow.
And what he had done was he took some 550 cord, threw it around the roof of his house, and he was sitting there and hung himself. But nobody knew it because he was sitting there like this. And you know, if you don't know what 550 cord is, it's really strong, but it's a very thin cord. Mm-hmm. So when he hung himself, he was still sitting in this chair with his uniform on.
Wow.
And so the ripple effect in that situation was, I was like, wow, if I had stopped to try to talk to him, maybe I could have.
Right.
You know, so I was depressed.
Yeah.
You know, because I don't know if I had stopped, that he had passed by that time, or, you know.
Right.
I was devastated. Man, I blamed myself.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you didn't stop?
Yeah. Yeah. I had to go to counseling for about 6 months. And his mom actually got in contact with me, and she's like, no, baby, he was sick for a long time. And she said, I talked to him the night he killed himself.
Yeah.
And they were LSU fans. I'm a Georgia fan. And she said, he thought about the impact, but he was in such a dark place. So she's like, you could not have saved him from himself.
Right.
Man, that thing freed me.
Yeah. Yeah.
That freed me.
And usually people who complete suicide, this is something that they have been battling for a long time, you know?
Yep.
And I have to tell myself too that, you know, I can't save everybody. Yeah, I can speak about what I've learned and look for warning signs and seek help and all of these other things that we learn to do when people are thinking about that. But the fact of the matter is, we can't save everybody.
No.
You know?
But what we can do is tell you, look, sometimes you have to give yourself a second chance. You know, listen to some inspirational music and bet on yourself.
Right.
You're worth it.
Right. Whatever it takes.
You are worth it.
Yeah, whatever it takes to get you out of that dark place. So I have many stories that are examples of how the act of suicide can be a ripple effect. So I'll briefly talk about two. One is the reason why I wrote this book, and it was a former commander. She was like early 30s, and she ended up taking her life because we found out that she was going through a divorce, and she ended up meeting somebody when she was going through a divorce, and then that relationship didn't go well, and it was just a lot that she was going through for a long time. So she ended up taking her life, had a young child, and we always say, yeah, they're thinking about suicide, but they have a young child. They're not going to do that. They wouldn't do that. Well, yes, she did it. Yeah. And when we found out in our unit, so many people started coming forward about things that they were experiencing, whether it was a divorce, whether it was just feeling like they were in a dark place because of, I don't know, their job, career choice, or family issues, whatever it was, they were all coming forth about it. And it just caused me to write this book. If you want to find out what happened, check out the book. But the most recent incident that caused a ripple effect was actually in 2021. And that's when the young man from the Professional Relaxation Travel Group that I'm a part of, when he took his life days after we came from a trip.
Yeah, like that was
days
as
it was
good and joyful of a situation that you can be in.
That was so shocking to all of us. I'm not sure exactly how many of us was on that trip in St. Lucia, but I must say about 600. And he was a part of this organization since they had started. At that time, I think it was maybe 12 years at that time. And he was so well known, always just happy and the life of the party. I remember we danced together and everything, just had a great time. I was broken. I was broken. And everybody was. But the thing about it, and yes, that was definitely a ripple effect. Like we were torn. But the thing about it is that we all came together. Of course, that was still kind of coming out of COVID. So it was, we didn't meet in person a lot, but we had Zoom calls, and it was health coaches just there for us and supporting us. So, but yeah, you talk about ripple effect. We were broken. Yeah. So think about how it will impact others. Like there are definitely people who love you, who care about you, and yeah, the people who you leave behind, we will not be okay. So think about that. And it's not a solution.
And it's okay to tell somebody, hey, I'm in a dark place right now.
Yeah.
And if they care about you, they will help you out.
Yeah.
And they care. That's it. They care.
Absolutely. And whether it's a mental health professional, whether it's a friend, whether it's a family member, it's always somebody you can go to. It's always somebody you can go to.
Because suicide is a permanent answer to a temporary problem.
Yes.
You mentioned earlier the young lady who was going through a divorce and the other relationship. Listen, there's lots of people out here. Now, look, if you decide to pull chalk and leave, Mr. Love Always Wins will be low. But we get up and we move on. Right? So I'm telling you, don't let someone's choice to end a relationship be the end of you. No, you better than that.
That's right.
I promise you that. You better than that.
That's right. You said pull chalk. That's
leaving.
That's a term for it.
In the Army, right? When we chalk a truck.
Oh, I thought that was a country thing. Pull chalk.
That is country. You pull the thing that's blocking the tire. That's a chalk.
Okay.
Keeps it from rolling away.
Oh. Ooh, all right. So yes, suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Come on, you can get through it. Get through it. So we want you to also think about what are other options? What are other options? Like, again, there's nothing new under the sun. Somebody has gone through that same thing. Somebody has dealt with that same thing that you are dealing with. What are your interests? What are some things that you love to do that you have not done yet?
Yeah.
Start working towards.
Make a list.
Make a list. Yeah. Yeah. Of something that you are passionate about. What else? What else you got to say about that?
I mean, keep it simple. I don't want you to get overwhelmed with, because then, if you got a gigantic list, it'll just start to be too
overwhelming. Yeah.
But just start with one more day.
One more day.
Just give yourself one more day.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
And if that's you and you find yourself in a dark place, reach out.
Yeah.
We have
it's a simple number now. It used to be that long number. Now it's 988. 988 is the new number where you call for help if you're in a dark place. If you have those thoughts of leaving us, please call that number.
Yeah, because we don't want you to leave.
Yeah, please use that number. And another thing we want to mention that people say, well, suicide, they try to put a race or an age or a gender. It has no race. It has no gender. It has no age. We've known people as young as 8 years old. 8 years old to take their life.
Yeah.
So,
in the same vein, there's nothing to be ashamed about having those thoughts, right? We want you to understand we all been in very dark places.
Yeah.
I'm Mr. Love Always Wins. And just yesterday, I had to get a reset. I started looking at old videos. Of my life was showing me some old pictures of myself before the strokes. Man, that thing, that lifted me. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to sometimes look at where you've come from, how far you've come. You've made it through so much. You're still here for a reason. Yep. You still have a purpose. What's your purpose?
That's right.
You have been placed here for such a time as this, And again, this is such a heavy topic, and I have gone through and experienced so much when it comes to, especially this book, like his book. Writing this book, these stories, like I literally
I had to look away because a tear just popped out of my eye.
These stories are deep. This little book. Let me tell you something.
Hey, need one of them triangles on it.
The warning signs. Yeah. Like you would think, okay, this little book, okay. I know people that still have not gotten through this book. They say, I can't do it. I can't do it. So for me, who was going through and speaking to each individual who wanted to share their story, I had to mentally prepare myself, pray before and after each one, But the thing about it is, like, these survivors, these resilient individuals highlight specific things they did to come out of those dark places, which is the most rich thing about this book, and I love that part. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to say it's not just suicide, right? Things that you're trying to accomplish in your life.
Right.
Don't give up on them.
Right.
Look, we are past episode 10.
Yeah.
When I first told the love of my life about a podcast, she looked at me like I had 6 heads.
Because he always have so many ideas, and I'm like, okay. Okay. Now a podcast.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
And now look, we got podcasts, we got merchandise, all this stuff, because I didn't give up. Right? I didn't give up. And I don't want you to give up on your dream and your ideas. Don't give up.
Don't give up. Don't give up.
Especially when you have a ultra talented partner or somebody to go along with you. And sometimes you just have to go a little bit by yourself.
That's right.
And your gifts will make room for you.
Always.
Don't give up.
Just start.
Oh, Jacob, I don't want to. Yeah, you know what? You can share it with me, and we'll pray over that thing. Yeah, we'll pray over it.
Never.
I promise you.
Never give up.
You can send it, right? If you want to keep it secret for right now, send it to us on The Love Always Wins
podcast
at
gmail.com.
You got an idea, but you don't want to tell somebody your idea. You know what? Tell me.
That's right.
I'm still working on my memories. I'll know it when I see it, though. And we'll pray over that thing.
Yes.
I am a big believer in prayer. Okay?
Prayer works.
It works. It'll help you out of your dark places. It'll help you with your dreams coming to life, right?
Yes.
And it's a good way for you, just start to walk in faith. Small steps.
You can do it. You can do it.
And if you send me that in, I'll send you email back so you know that we ain't just saying stuff and not checking.
That's right.
I stand in agreement with you. Look, I was flatlined, gone. So I ain't got nothing to lose, right? Ain't nothing scaring me. That's the partner that you have in me. There's nothing to scare me. Death, I've been there. So now I'm back with a vengeance.
Yes.
Right? I'm living with a vengeance.
Yes.
Right? Don't pull chalk, though.
No chalk pulled.
I'm living with a vengeance.
Yeah. Purposeful living.
Yes. Living on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. That's good. That's good. And I know you have been in dark places many times, but like I said, you always pull through. I've been in dark places. I'm like, no, let me snap out of this. So
Teddy Pendergrass.
Yeah.
Turn on the light.
Yeah. Yeah. But he said turn them off. Well, we turn them on.
That's right.
Okay. But yeah, so come on. Let's get it. Let's get it. We are here for you. You have your family. You have your friends. Sometimes it's best to talk to people who don't even know you. Like, us? Yeah. Yeah. In a therapist.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think everybody needs therapy.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
And therapy, it doesn't have to be disaster therapy. When we take our car in, it doesn't have to be when, all the engine lights are, no. Yeah. Just routine maintenance.
Yep. I call it mental health maintenance. We all need it. Mental health maintenance. Just like you get regular checks, you said, on your vehicle, you make sure your phone is working, like little things, these objects that we own. You got to do the same thing for your mind and your body as well.
But whatever you do, don't give up.
Never give up.
Ever.
Never, ever give up. All right. I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you, Mrs. Love Always Wins.
Good job. Good job. All right. Well, I think that's it. Remember, we are here for you, and other people love you. Keep going. Never give up.
You know why? Because
love always wins. And we love you. Keep going. Keep going.